Okay, I'm going to suggest to you today that we start referring to Donald Trump's tariffs as tax increases on everyday Americans, because that's what they actually are in practice. And that's something I thought that Republicans claim to be against. And I've been talking about this since Donald Trump's tariffs on China were just an idea. Now they're a reality. As I told you in the last segment, new tariffs have been announced on Mexico. Those start at 5%, potentially escalating all the way up to 25%, according to Donald Trump, if you believe that that is actually what he is going to do. Now, it's really important to understand, and I feel like a broken record with this. China doesn't pay the tariffs that Donald Trump placed on them. Mexico will not pay the tariffs that Donald Trump is placing on them, is in the process of placing on them. The tariffs on China and Mexico make their stuff more expensive to import to the United States. So when you import it, you pay China or Mexico the same amount for their stuff, plus you pay something to the United States government in addition to that, a tariff. It is effectively a tax. Trump has said many times his tariffs are forcing China to pay however many billions of dollars. That's just not how it works. If China has a $100 product that the United States buys, and you put a 25% tariff on Chinese goods, the American company or person who buys the $100 thing from China is still paying China just the $100. And then in addition to that, they pay the US government $25 in the case of a hypothetical 25% tariff. What this means is that the American company or the American person paying the tariff on the Chinese stuff ends up with $25 that they could have spent at local businesses, could have spent in other ways within the American economy, but they don't have those $25 because they paid it to the government as a tariff. I thought that small government, low tax conservatives were against that, and they wanted Americans to keep more of their own money in order to do whatever they want, in order to stimulate local business. This is bad for the United States. This tariff program is crushing soybean exports, which are down 97% from 2017 in the United States. Trump's tariffs are crushing whiskey exports because of the retaliatory tariffs that are put in place. Whiskey exports down 32% in the fourth quarter of 2018 compared to the fourth quarter of 2017. And unfortunately, this is the most disgusting part of it all. Donald Trump genuinely doesn't seem to understand the basics of how tariffs work. And it's not actually super shocking that it's not being corrected because Trump's administration has no serious or credible economics people remaining. There's this guy, Larry Kudlow, who Trump seems to ignore anyway, and whose opinion Trump has previously disavowed when it wasn't in line with what Donald Trump wanted to believe. Look at the tweet that Donald Trump posted over the weekend. Quote, "In order not to pay tariffs if they start rising, companies will leave Mexico, which has taken 30% of our auto industry, and come back home to the United States. Mexico must take back their country from the drug lords and cartels. The tariff is about stopping drugs as well as illegals." I'm almost at a loss for words because Mexican companies aren't going to leave Mexico to avoid paying the tariffs because they don't pay the tariffs. It's the Americans paying the tariffs when they buy or import Mexican stuff. Donald Trump has weaponized his ignorance on this issue and probably on some others. Remember when he called his now indicted national security advisor, Michael Flynn, in the middle of the night to ask him, "Hey, Michael, is a strong dollar or a weak dollar good for the United States?" Remember when Trump campaigned endlessly on how he was going to fix healthcare, which he didn't, by the way, and then it was revealed through something Trump said at one of his speeches that he seemed confused between health insurance and life insurance. He confused the two. I won't rehash the whole story. We've done a couple of segments about it. I know we already talked about the Mexican tariffs, but the Mexico tariff idea is incredible in how massively negative it's going to be for everybody. Tariffs on Mexican stuff will make things more expensive for Americans, which is not good for the economy, for the American economy. It will potentially hurt the Mexican economy, which will push more Mexicans to want to come to the United States, whether it's legally or illegally, which is what Donald Trump claims to want to stop. So, number one, we've got to start calling these tariffs taxes. Maybe we call it an excise tax, since excise taxes are taxes on specific goods or services, like you pay excise tax on a car, for example, or on specific activities. Sometimes excises are paid. I don't know that his base will notice or care. They probably see Trump putting tariffs on Mexico, like the idea of, oh, we're hurting brown people and that's a good thing. I don't know. But we've got to change the language around it. It's getting really bad. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at David Pakman Show. Quick break, back after this.